let's talk about this boy. So this is a very, very cool subclass or archetype for the Ranger. It's the Trailblazer. It is created by someone who did not put their name on it.
ReluctantPirateGames is the user.
ReluctantPirateGames, and the art credit is by Alexander Chaudray.
Chaudray, yes.
I believe. So yeah, this is the Trailblazer. It's a Ranger archetype. In the endless wilderness, a simple campfire represents comfort, warmth, and the camaraderie of travelers in the dark. Trailblazers seek to bring power and majesty of fire to the furthest reaches of the world, providing protection for those who need it, and incinerating whatever dangers they may face. A fire-centric Ranger. We're taking the blazer aspect of Trailblazer. Mind if I keep going, Pete?
Absolutely.
Starting at 3rd level, you can... he's Trailblazer Magic. You learn some spells. Oh, you know the Produce Flame cantrip. And learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class. It's shown in the Trailblazer spell table. These spells count as Ranger spells for you, but don't count against the number of Ranger spells you know. Spells are Sanctuary, Warding Bond, Fireball, Fire Shield, and Dispel Good and Evil. I really like that they gave them a cantrip.
I do too.
You want to take Torchbearer?
Yeah, I'd love to. At 3rd level, your weapons become an extension of your Burning Will. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can ignite your weapon, dealing 1d8 additional fire damage to the target. At 11th level, the extra damage increases to 2d8. When you deal this additional damage, magical flame erupts from the targets. Creatures of your choice within 10 feet of the target gain temporary hit points equal to the fire damage dealt. You can use this feature a number of times, equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool... I really like the idea of... Like, it's obviously this is a magical subclass, but the idea of igniting your weapon, like, that actually feels very, like, Ranger-y. And just they have, like, oil on their weapon I could almost see, too, you know?
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that.
And they get another thing at 3rd level, which is Campfire's Blessing. At 3rd level, the fires you build protect your party from more than just the cold. You can spend 10 minutes building and lighting a magical campfire, which can be done at the beginning of a short or long rest. When this fire burns, creatures you choose within 20 feet of the fire are under the effects of a protection from evil and good spell.
All right.
I actually really like that feature, but let's finish the whole thing.
Burning Spirit. Beginning at 7th level, you can maintain your watch at all times. You no longer require sleep and can't be put to sleep by any means. To gain the benefits of a long rest, you can spend 8 hours doing light activities such as tending a fire and keeping watch. In addition, whenever you put out a campfire you built with your Campfire Blessing feature, you can cast the Augury spell without expending a spell slot using the burnt out embers as material components.
Next one is Cinder Step. At 11th level, you can propel yourself with your magical flames. Whenever you use your action to cast a Ranger spell of 1st level or higher, you may immediately use your bonus action to fly up to half your movement speed, then make a single weapon attack. This movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. You get a cool dash move, which is, I think, pretty cool. And then the last one here, Baleful Energy, if you want to take it. This is where they lost me a little bit, but...
Starting at 14th level, you can summon a Funeral Pyre to consume your foe. When you deal fire damage to a creature, you can cause their entire body to go up in flames for 1 minute. While surrounded by these magical flames, the creature must make a charisma saving throw at the beginning of each of its turns. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 fire damage and is stunned for 1 round. On successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and is not stunned. You can use the feature once and regain that use at the end of a long rest. Wow, this started out so awesome and totally went off the deep end.
Yeah, that 14th level feature is out of control. Well,
let's start at the beginning, right? Like, Trailblazer Magic, awesome. Great spell choices, great everything.
Torchbearer, touch good with the temporary hit points.
You know, I was thinking about that, and I was trying to think, right? Like, what do other Rangers like get at that level? And I went to Hunter Ranger first because if I can compare to the Player's Handbook Rangers, which are just worse than the other Rangers. I'm sorry. I like the Player's Handbook Rangers, but they don't get all the stuff that the other Rangers do. You know, say they get 1d8 from their Colossus Slayer all the time, pretty much. right? This is 1d8 a limited
Scales
number
to-
of times, long
scales to
rest
2d8.
recharge. Yeah, but I honestly, I don't have a problem with this.
I'm close on it.
I think this is perfectly fine. I think this is absolutely, even if it's a little strong, it's within the realm of reason.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, I really like this.
Campfire's Blessing. How do you feel about that? I absolutely love this feature.
100%. Absolutely love it. Very,
Great.
very cool. No qualms at all. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's excellent. I just, the mental image of it, the Dark Knight, and then like they all have the protection from evil and good spell, and I pictured like some kind of, because it targets the kind of creatures that don't really sneak up on you in the night. But I do love the idea of like the demon kind of growing closer, like a devil, like emerging from the woods, and then kind of like stepping back a little bit and being kind of warded. I don't know. It's so cool to me. So cool to me. Burning Spirit.
I think so. The one qualm I would say with Campfire's Blessing is it doesn't specify, right, like what puts out the fire. Typically in features like this, right, like let's say a fog cloud, it says this can blow away the cloud, this amount of wind gets rid of it. And I think this might need something for the campfire to describe, because the magical campfire, what puts it out, right? If I splash water on it, does it go out? If there's a strong wind, does it go out?
A very good point.
So that is the one maybe qualm there, but I think that's kind of nitpicking even. Burning Spirit, I actually really like it.
I do too.
I think this is perfectly fine. Like, I have absolutely no problems from a balance perspective, and then from a flavor perspective. This is incredibly cool.
Flavor perspective, it's this thing for me, this Trailblazer, is hitting to me that like flavor exceptional point. Like this is the 2 points in flavor for me. Like
100%.
That feature like blew me away.
The problem I have is these last two features I really just don't like.
Yeah, I just didn't just didn't quite stick the landing.
Yeah, like, okay, so Cinder Step, right? When you use your action to cast a ranger spell of first level or higher, okay, it's only action spells. What fucking ranger spells are actions even? Like
ones that you don't usually use, I think.
Yeah. I mean, let me see. Are some of these guys actions? You got Fireball. But yeah, Fireball, Warding Bond, and Sanctuary the bonus action.
Fire Shield.
Yeah, I'm thinking like at that level.
But ninth would be a. Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Fireball would be probably the big one. I imagine you're going to cast Fireball a lot because now you're a ranger with Fireball.
Cure Wounds is right.
Yeah, Cure Wounds is as well.
Fog Cloud, but like you're not really casting that super often.
It's not like imbalanced, and it's cool. It's like seems fun to use.
Yeah.
I don't. It has some of that drawback of like. Actually, it doesn't even like. Yeah, it's fine. This feature starts to push it. Like up until this point, it was this kind of like mystic folklore, like hold the torch to ward off the darkness thing, and this one just pushes it in the direction of sick mage fighter that uses fire.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is out of balance flavor-wise with the.
The tone's different for this feature.
I don't think it's balanced in balance though.
No, I'm fine with the balance on this. Baleful Effigy, I'm not fine with the balance on.
Yeah, what on earth?
I was fine with Cinder Step. It's just crazy to me that the person who designed the first half of this also made Baleful Effigy.
I think also, isn't it 15th level that they get it? It is, but whatever.
That's an honest mistake.
Yeah. That's a typo, is what we call that, boy. Let's see. Like,
it's unreasonably over. I don't even know what to tell you. It's just unreasonably overpowered. There's no way as it's written to snuff out the flames. Like, there's no end condition for this effect. If I understood what the end condition was, like maybe if it had specified that, like.
But it's when you deal fire, it's not like an action to do this.
No, it's you fireball a group of creatures, and then all of them get this effect.
Yeah.
It should be one creature. It should be like, I don't know. There's no. We're also, it doesn't like necessarily ring. Like, you can summon a funeral pyre to consume your foe. Like,
that's not in the
that's not a
flavor at all of
ranger.
everything
That's
else.
not a ranger thing. Like,
Yeah. What's crazy is this thing was a 5 out of 5 until we got these last two. Even with Cinderstep, it was still a 5 out of 5. And then Baleful Effigy trashes the flavor point. It trashes the balance point.
I don't
like.
See, I wouldn't I wouldn't quite take away the flavor point, but I absolutely would take away the balance point. Because I was, if I was going to give it but if I was going to give it 2 points of flavor up until this point, I'm willing to give it 1 still.
You're right. I don't think it destroys the flavor, but it definitely destroys the balance.
Yeah. So this was a 4. This is the best thing I feel like I've seen on my journeys through Reddit homebrew.
So far. Absolutely. I was saying, V-Bunny's point, it says a magical campfire very clearly here. So that's to comment on what puts out the fire. I think it needs to be more clear there.
Yeah. So I would almost give this a. Do we take away design point for Baleful Energy too? For not like, for not. It's also it's like just 1 point. It loses 1 point for Baleful Effigy. Outside of the system, like because
it's weird. It's so good, except that one's bad. That one is not.
It's just crazy to me that the same person designed the first half of this and then the end one, but. No offense if somehow you're here listening to this, and also this is like so good. The first half of this is amazing, and I'm in love with it. But
absolutely,
that's all I have to say about the Trailblazer. This was a very good piece of homebrew, almost.
Yeah, I totally agree. Frosty said Cinderstep. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm also not a huge fan of Cinderstep, but I'm okay with it. Like, that doesn't destroy it for me. The Baleful Effigy is just so weird. Like, I think if that were...
Cool names, too. Like, Burning Spirit for that 7th level feature is so cool.
Let's hypothetically say, right, that Baleful Effigy, the intention of it is that it hits one creature when you hit it when you do fire damage, right? And that on a successful save, the effect ends. I think we're fine. I think you're at 5 out of 5. It's like, and you get rid of the word funeral, right? Like, you just reflavor it a tiny bit.
Yep.
And Frosty saying, I thought this ranger was a guide through the darkness. It's clearly not. It's a fire ranger kill stuff. Well, I think, Frosty, the first 3 features very much cement that guide through the darkness tone and feel. And I think, and maybe a little controversial point here, I think it's okay to branch a little bit, to not be that narrowly focused, to have some more general, because like, a guide through the darkness needs something to fight off the darkness, right? Like, and that's kind of their way of doing it, is they fight off the darkness.
I'm with you on that. I think that like Baleful Effigy could be a feature that it gets. It just doesn't. This feature just doesn't really work as it stands. But anyway. I really like the flavor text was so good too.
It's very neat. If you're here, who is it again, Pete? Who made this?
This was Reddit user ReluctantPirateGames.
If you are ReluctantPirateGames, you're making some awesome stuff. I would love to. I'd just love to see those last couple things cleaned up, and this would be beautiful. I would love that.
I'm probably going to look up Reluctant Pirate Games and see whatever stuff they've done, because I'm so impressed.
They might have had like a version 2. I know a lot of the times on Reddit they'll have like version 2 of the same kind of deal, or a later version based on the feedback they get.
This came out a few days ago, so.
Oh wow, it's very neat.
Yeah.
Also, looks great, by the way. Just nailed it. Looks beautiful. The whole the whole formatting, everything.
Absolutely.
Which to me that matters a lot. Yeah, I think that's
our show.